So today we're going to talk about emotional triggers. We learn all about our emotional triggers while in relation to others. So whether that is a romantic relationship, whether that is a friendship of sorts, whether that is a sibling or family, parent-child type of relationship, or um, pretty much any type of close relationship where you are devoted to making it work. You learn a lot about your emotional triggers. There are many different types of emotional triggers that's a vast category that we can dive into each section at another time. But today I want to focus on parental triggers. So when I say parental triggers, what I mean is you may have heard of the mommy wound or the daddy wound. Pretty much what this talking about is for either parent, and sometimes it may be both parents, but for either parent, the mother or the father, there were wounds where that person felt like that they were not nurtured properly. They may have uh, abandonment wounds. They may have wounds where they were not able to express themselves properly, meaning that they were not able to cry. They may not have been able to actually get angry. They may not have been able to complain. They may not have been able to express any type of emotion that they had because oftentimes, many parents expect their kids to be perfect, to be prim and proper at all times because that looks good when you're at church. That looks good when you're, at a restaurant. That looks good when you're at school for you to say that you are raising your child properly. And what we don't realize is that many times to that child that is doing some form of damage, I mean, there's really no clear-cut way to raise a child without causing some type of trauma. Because I mean, as a parent, you are dealing with some type of trauma that you will somehow, some way in the course of raising that child, you will somehow project that trauma onto your child. But in the case of parental trauma, what, and I'm not sure if this is the actual textbook name for it, but this is what I'm gonna call it today. In the case of parental trauma, the child feels that they were not nourished in whatever area, so they feel a deficit in that area. And what happens is many times that child grows up to be a teenager, which grows up to be a young adult, which grows up to be a adult. And when this child grows up to be an adult, if that that trigger goes unchecked, now they are in relationships with other people causing trauma because they're dealing with something that has went unchecked for years and years and years. So you may have someone that is stunted in their emotional development. You may have someone that plays out cycle after cycle of toxic relationships. And these are people, as adults, you are expected to hold a certain level of wisdom. You are now raising kids of your own, but you're still dealing with your own trauma. You are now a husband or a wife, but you're still dealing with your trauma. You are now a leader over a certain department or a certain corporation, but you're still dealing with your trauma. So life goes on, and you're expected to be an adult, and you're expected to know what to do, how to do, when to do it, but you're still dealing with your trauma. But the way that these parental traumas, the way that they can be damaging and the way that they show up, let's just say, for the sake of this example, that you are in a relationship with the opposite sex and you have, um, let's just say that this is a female, I mean, because it can go either way. So, um, change the story to fit your situation. But if a female is dealing with father wounds where she felt that her dad was not around, or she felt that her dad did not protect her. Um, so whatever it is that she feels was lacking in her relationship with her dad, the way that they can show up in a relationship is if she finds the perfect guy and he exhibit all of those characteristics that she was was neglected from receiving from her dad. So her dad did not have these characteristics that she so desperately needed, and she finds them in a mate. She finds a mate that have these exact same characteristics that she wished that her dad had. And let's just say that he shows the characteristics towards her. He shows those characteristics towards his kids and to the kids in the neighborhood and the kids at the YMCA and the kids at the church and the kids at your, local Salvation Army game and, just all of these things. He's a great guy. And he's showing those exact same characteristics that she so desperately wished that her dad had. So the average person would think like, okay, well, great. So she found, someone who can give her what she needs. Okay, so you would think. But the trigger happens because now that she sees that and she recognizes it, so she knows that it's possible, because maybe in the back of her mind, she excused her dad for not being able to give that to her. Because a good daughter, okay, I'm not going to hold that against my dad. I mean, he didn't have it when he was growing up, so how could he know to give it to me? And whatever excuse it is that she has, you know, given to her dad for not being able to give those key characteristics to her. So when this partner now shows up with those same exact characteristics, she may study him for a minute and she will congratulate him. But in the back of her mind, since she's triggered, because triggers may not always make you angry, not initially and not outwardly, but on the inside, you will begin to kind of mull over those things that this person is doing, and you know that there are some great things, but when you're not healed, so only a healed person will see these characteristics and congratulate that person for having those characteristics. If you're unhealed, that unhealed part of you will begin to get angry. Some people are angry outwardly, and some people are angry on the inside. So meaning, if you're angry on the inside, if you never express that anger, then guess what? You will start to resent that person. Believe it or not. Although this person is showing you those same characteristics that you feel a deficit in, that you feel that you never had as a little girl. You never had that, you know, nurturing. You never had that time that you needed from your dad or whatever the case was. You feel like you never had that as a little girl. But this man is showing them to you. These same exact characteristics. If a part of you is unhealthy and unhealed, and if you had not dealt with those father issues, then you may begin to resent this person that you're in a relationship with. And you will resent them because you're not expressing that you are feeling triggered by that. And that's not saying that you right away go to that person and say that you feel triggered, because that person may look at you like you're crazy if you say that you feel triggered by them being a good dad, or you feel triggered by them being a good person. So I'm not saying that you straight away immediately go to that person and say, hey, I feel triggered because you're such a good guy. No. What you do is you ask yourself. Now you have to parent yourself and ask yourself, okay, why is it that I feel so triggered by him being a good guy? What is it about him, or what is it about me that feels away? And once you figure that out, you may need to get some paper and write it down. Ask yourself questions. What is it about him? And what is it about you that you feel so triggered, or that you feel such a way? Because these are good characteristics. So why is it that I feel a way about him just being who he is? So you definitely need to deal with it, and you definitely need to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, so you won't go on to hurt that person, because this person does not know that they are triggering you. So that you won't go on to hurt that person, what you may need to do is just tell that person, if you can't figure it out, this is. Only if you can't figure it out. If you can figure it out, then you figure it out, you deal with it, you work on healing it, and then maybe much later on, once have kind of resolved it, or it's not such a touchy point, and then y'all can have a conversation about it. But you do need to deal with it and kind of figure it out, because you don't want that person to feel like that they have to step on eggshells whenever they're around you. Because if you tell them initially, they will feel like that they can't freely express themselves when they're around you, because now they will be confused as to what it is that they need to do, because they think, okay, well, I thought I'm supposed to show you that I'm a good guy. I thought I'm supposed to, look out for you, or check on you or whatever. So now I don't know what to do. So this is something that you need to deal with internally and externally too, by writing it down and everything. But you need to deal with this first. And once it's healed, or once it's not so touchy, and then you can later on express it to that person. But if you cannot heal it, if you don't see a way to get over it, then you may need to break it off with that person. Because what you will do, you will end up resenting that person. And once that resentment set in so much, then now arguments will begin over things that are not even the issue. The main issue would be this thing here, that you're really triggered by your parental traumas. And you are letting this person being just who they are You are letting that come in the way of what could be a good thing. So if you don't see a way that you can get over it or get past it or work through it, then you need to break it off with that person and deal with that. And the same thing can happen with men, because you may have a lot of men that deal with good women where they may not have had a mother that was as nurturing as the woman that they are entertaining. So they may feel triggered, or they may have had kids with a woman that was not so nurturing, and now they feel triggered because they see another woman being a great parent to her kids. And now they feel away because they wish that they was able to experience raising kids with a great woman, so it can work either way. And so even if it wasn't caused by a parental figure, but sometimes it could be caused, those traumas could be caused from the person that you decided to have kids with, that you're raising kids with or whatever. So just, this is something just to look out for. This is something to pay attention to. Heal your traumas. Do not try to project your traumas onto people, onto others. Do not try to, hold that trauma in and don't say anything, because it's going to show up. It's going to show up. So whether you think that you're doing a good job with not expressing it, people can tell when you're holding something back. So you're not as, you know, slick or as, um, sly with it or whatever. People can actually tell a difference in your mood. They can tell a difference in your tone. They can tell a difference in the way that you handle them. So you definitely want to heal these things. You definitely want to work through them. And better yet, before you even get into a relationship, so let's just say that you're single now, or if you had not been triggered in certain ways, if you know that there are certain traumas that you have, if you've never had therapy before, go ahead and get you a journal. Go onto Amazon, look up Edify My Soul by me, Siobhan A. Hampton, and that's a 30-day journal. Get that 30-day journal and just journal and write. Because this is a way that you can kind of see certain patterns in yourself. When you journal and just kind of write out whatever is on your mind, whatever that you're thinking about, whatever issues that you have had, whatever issues that you're having now, if you're not able to get therapy, journaling is a great substitute for therapy. It's a great substitute. In my particular journal, there are different sections. You have sections for gratefulness and thankfulness. You have a section for affirmations. You have a section for your journal entry, for prayer and meditation. So that's everything that you will need to edify your soul. So this will be a great way for you to go ahead and start working on those traumas and those triggers. So whatever it is, go on Amazon, Edify My Soul, and by Siobhan A. Hampton. Go ahead and purchase that, and I will try to put the link down up in the comment and about section. And go ahead and purchase that, and let's just try not to cause what I hate to see happen. I hate to see people when we have the whole thing with the hurt people hurt people. I hate to see that, because sometimes it can very much be avoided. Sometimes we know these are things that's going on, but we just feel that there's no way to fix it. So we just deal with it and we go on and like project it onto other people versus healing. Instead of hurt people hurting other people, heal. And that way you can help to heal other people. So then it becomes heal people versus hurt people hurting people. Cause that's not, what's that? Like you got tripped or you broke your ankle, so now you want to go around breaking other ankles? Like it's crazy. So let's work on healing so we can help to heal others. When you heal yourself, you will begin to see other people in a different way because you can see those touch points that you dealt with. You can see that better in someone else. So let's work on healing and work on healing, helping to heal other people just by us being us. That's not saying that you have to go around and be a therapist to everybody, no, because people need to deal with their own trauma. Now, if the Lord calls you to help someone, then of course, but if he doesn't call you to help someone, then that's not your place. That person needs to heal themselves. But when the world stopped being so toxic, when we stop, exhibiting and co-signing and promoting this toxic, nice, nasty behavior, and we begin to promote and co-sign healed behavior, then that will become the norm. And the more people that become healed, then the trend will catch on because majority of people are followers. Sad to say, but yes, majority of people that you see, 8 out of 10 people that you see will be followers. You very seldom see leaders. You have a lot of people that want to be leaders. So they may have the bravado of a leader because that sounds good and that looks good for you to say that you're a leader and for you to, you know, be a toxic leader. Now that looks good, yes, but leaders don't have to be loud. Leaders don't have to be toxic. Leaders don't even have to say that they're a leader. If you're a true natural born leader, if you're true and natural born about anything, it naturally comes to you and people will naturally see it. So you don't have to announce it. You don't have to say it. You know, it's like if you see a man saying, well, you know, I'm a real man. Like when you look at him like, you know, like that looks crazy. If you are a real man, then I will be able to tell that you're a real man. I don't need you to announce that you're a real man, you know. So real leaders, they will show themselves as a leader. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to stick your chest out with it or anything. Just you being you will show what you are. So when you're healed, then it will show for itself. You saying that you healed is not what makes you heal. It's you exhibiting the signs of a healed person. Day in and day out, you acting as if you're healed because you truly are healed. So let's make that the new norm going into 2026 and moving forward. So whenever you come across this message, from that point moving forward, let's make healed people the new movement. So like I said, if you don't have the journal, Edify My Soul, go ahead and go on Amazon, pick it up. Edify My Soul by Siobhan A. Hampton. It's a journal. It's a red cover with a butterfly on the front of it. So it has a butterfly on the front of it, but men can also journal in it as well because the content is the content. It's still going to be the same. So and just don't pay attention to the butterfly if you plan on getting it for a man or if you yourself is the man. Cover it up with a sticker of a lion or something, you know. But yes, go ahead and get Edify My Soul, a 30-day journey of transformation. by Siobhan A. Hampton. That's the name of it. Edify My Soul, A 30-Day Journey of Transformation by Siobhan A. Hampton. So, back to the point, the main point, is that triggers can come up while we're in relation to other people. The best thing to do is to recognize it early so that you can deal with it. You can work on it, work through it. And then maybe later on, once it's not such a touchy subject, you can inform that person, well, for a minute, there was something that I had to kind of work through with myself. Um, I didn't want to let you know because I didn't want to, you know, to scare you off or anything. I knew that it was just something that I needed to work on. And so I did that. Now that shows signs of maturity versus holding it in, never working through it, and becoming very resentful towards this person and making every other issue an issue when it's really not that. It's really only that this person being a good person triggers you because you wish that you had that type of person as a parent. Because you know that you may be better as an adult if you had that type of person as a parent. That's something to deal with. That is something to deal with because you may feel like as an adult that shouldn't even matter anymore. You may feel like that shouldn't bother you at this big grown age, or that shouldn't, put a dent in your day, but it it does, because issues, they don't go away. They only get pushed down, but they don't go away until we deal with it and we heal it. Healing makes it, and actually healing don't make it go away. Healing makes you look at it in a different way. So when it comes up the next time, because although you work through it and you heal it, that's not saying that it won't ever come up again. What that says is that when and if it comes up, well, I would say when, because it probably will again. When it comes up again, then you know exactly what it is. You have a name for it. So you know exactly what it is. You can pinpoint it and you know what to do to work through it. So you know that you're not mad at the person, that it's only the trigger of you not having that as a little kid, as a little girl, or a little boy. That is just a trigger that you didn't have it. So you know what to do to work through it. So this is just something to be mindful of as we're in relationships with others. Let's work on our triggers and let's heal. So until next time, be vigilant and heal your triggers.